In a time when Japan's agriculture is battling climate unpredictability, water shortages, and shrinking rural populations, a single comment has sent shockwaves through farming communities across the nation. Former Environment Minister Shinjiro Koizumi's recent remarks suggesting that water tankers could be a solution for drying rice paddies have sparked outrage and disbelief among rice farmers, particularly in drought-stricken prefectures such as Niigata, Akita, and Yamagata. The reaction has been fierce. "Is he serious or joking?" asked one farmer. This shows a complete lack of understanding. This article explores the fallout from Koizumi's controversial comment, the escalating crisis facing Japan's rice producers, and the broader implications for food security in a changing climate. A comment that sparked a firestorm. Koizumi made the remarks during an agricultural policy panel on August 5, responding to a question on how Japan should prepare for water shortages affecting rice paddies. In emergency situations, he said, we should consider unconventional solutions, including the possibility of using water tankers to deliver irrigation water to paddy fields. His comment, delivered with a confident tone, might have been intended as a visionary idea, but to many in the agricultural world, it felt like a slap in the face. "It's either a joke or a fantasy," said 67-year-old rice farmer Hiroshi Yamamoto from Niigata. "We're talking about hectares of fields, not backyard gardens. A single water tanker would be like spitting into a dry ocean." Paddy fields on the brink, the reality of drought. The 2025 summer has been one of the hottest and driest in recent memory. Northern and central Japan have seen record low rainfall since early July, leaving many rice paddies with parched, cracked soil where there should be lush green stalks. Farmers in Akita Prefecture report paddy water levels dropping by over 70%, prompting emergency coordination with local governments for temporary water supplies. But even those efforts are struggling to meet the scale of the crisis. Masao Fujita, a 52-year-old farmer in Yamagata, said her entire crop of Akitakomachi rice is at risk of failing. "We rely on a consistent water source. If it doesn't rain soon, the whole season's labor will go to waste." And now we hear a former minister talking about water trucks like we're in some urban landscaping project. Rice cultivation. Not just another crop. For generations, rice has been the backbone of Japanese agriculture, culture, and cuisine. The cultivation process is deeply tied to the rhythms of nature, and, crucially, to water. Paddy fields require a stable and abundant water supply throughout the growing season. Disruptions at any stage, particularly during the grain filling period in midsummer, can lead to devastating crop losses. Experts have pointed out that transporting sufficient water via tankers is not only logistically impractical, it is economically and environmentally unsound. "Even a small paddy field can need thousands of liters of water per day," said Dr. Kana Shibasaki, an agricultural engineer at the University of Tokyo. To transport that by tanker would require hundreds of trips, massive fuel consumption, and considerable infrastructure. It's not scalable. The solution lies in better water management systems, reservoirs, and investment in drought-resistant crop varieties, not patchwork measures. Farmers speak out. "We can't sleep at night." Across the countryside, the mood is somber and anxious. Farmers are watching their crops dry up with little help in sight. Many say Koizumi's words feel emblematic of a wider disconnect between policymakers in Tokyo and the realities of rural life. Shigeo Nakamura, a 74-year-old farmer in Saitama, summed up the frustration. "We don't expect miracles from politicians, but we expect understanding. These comments make us feel invisible." His son, Daisuke, who left a city job to take over the family's farm 2 years ago, said the stress is overwhelming. "I lie awake at night, worrying about whether I'll even be able to harvest enough to break even this year. If this continues, we'll see more young people leaving agriculture." Koizumi attempts damage control. Facing backlash from farmer unions and political opponents alike, Koizumi took to social media 2 days after the incident to clarify his statement. "My intention was not to belittle the challenges faced by farmers," he wrote on X, formerly Twitter. "I meant to encourage thinking outside the box in the face of climate challenges. I apologize if my comment caused confusion." However, for many, the damage had already been done. The Japan Agricultural Cooperatives (JA) quickly issued a statement condemning the remark as detached from reality and harmful to the morale of those working tirelessly to sustain Japan's food supply. Even members of Koizumi's own party distanced themselves from the idea, with one anonymous LDP member saying, "He may have meant well, but this wasn't the time for abstract hypotheticals." The bigger picture. Climate change, policy gaps, and declining support. This controversy comes at a time when Japanese agriculture faces growing threats from climate change. In the past 5 years alone, rice yields have been repeatedly affected by extreme weather, from flooding and typhoons to prolonged droughts. And the nation's aging farming population only compounds the vulnerability. The government has attempted to bolster rural resilience with subsidies, irrigation upgrades, and modernization initiatives. Still, many farmers feel that such efforts fall short of addressing the growing unpredictability of weather patterns. Dr. Noriko Tanaka, a policy analyst at the Japan Institute for Rural Development, said the situation demands a comprehensive response. It's not just about emergency water, it's about reshaping the agricultural strategy for a warmer, drier future. We need strategic investment, public-private collaboration, and above all, respect for those on the front lines. Public reaction, sympathy and sarcasm. On social media, reactions have ranged from ridicule to heartfelt solidarity. One trending post read, "Why not have Koizumi himself deliver the water in a tanker?" Others shared photos of bone-dry fields with captions like, "Still waiting for the water truck." At the same time, many citizens expressed concern for the farmers and the food supply. "We take our bowls of rice for granted," one commenter wrote. "But seeing these images and hearing these voices, I realize how fragile the system really is." A popular YouTuber with a farming background posted a 20-minute video titled, "Koizumi-san, this is a rice paddy, not a parking lot," garnering over 1 million views in just 2 days. Looking ahead, what needs to change? As the controversy begins to subside, the deeper issues remain. Japan's rice farmers need more than apologies, they need real support and long-term vision. Agricultural experts suggest several key steps. Invest in irrigation infrastructure, dams, canals, and water recycling systems that can better withstand dry spells. Develop drought-tolerant rice varieties, more funding for agricultural R&D to adapt crops to new environmental conditions. Promote water-saving farming techniques, such as alternate wetting and drying (AWD) systems and smart irrigation controls. Strengthen policy farmer dialogue, bridging the communication gap so future remarks are grounded in reality. A wake-up call for the nation. The outcry over Koizumi's comment may soon fade from the headlines, but for thousands of farmers staring at dry paddies and dwindling yields, the crisis is very real. Their message is clear. They don't need fantasy solutions, they need empathy, informed leadership, and concrete action. As climate change tightens its grip, the survival of Japan's rice fields, and the communities that depend on them, will depend on how quickly the country can adapt and support those working the land. Closing words from the fields. As the sun set over his rice field, now dry and cracked like a desert floor, Farmer Yamamoto quietly said, "We've lived through typhoons, earthquakes, and everything else nature throws at us. But what hurts the most is when our leaders don't seem to understand how much we give, every single day, just to keep food on the table." For Japan to preserve its traditions and secure its agricultural future, it must begin by listening, truly listening, to those who plant, water, and harvest the heart of its culture.